So today we're going to take a look at Faze versus EG on Breeze, but before I do that, I have a quick announcement, and that is that I have been invited to take part in the kind of content creator early access for the new map and the testing of it. So I will be streaming on Thursday around 7 PM BST to take a look at the new map, and what I'll be doing essentially is going through each of the agents and figuring out like, oh, this is a good map for this agent and not so good for this agent, right? To try and give you a decent idea and kind of look at the map from a tactical standpoint. So if you're interested in that, come and join me on the stream, and join me on the stream anyway, because I have started streaming fairly regularly now. And yeah, we do this, we do VOD reviews, we do you know, predictions for games and things like that. You know, it's pretty relaxed, pretty chill, as you might expect. And so yeah, come and join on the stream. Join the Discord as well, which is also, both are in the link in the description, so go and join both. On the Discord you can get a free gift sub if you predict EMEA or NA all correctly, so go to the Discord if you want to do that as well. And yeah, with that said, let's come to EG versus Faze. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this game was because I recently saw a comment on Reddit saying that the cHaMbEr nerf didn't matter, and that is just not true. The cHaMbEr nerf definitely did matter quite a lot, and particularly I think on Breeze. I think this map in particular, and maybe some others, but from what I've seen, definitely on Breeze it did matter, because in this game there were 22 rounds played, and only 3 were won on the attacking side. And one of the big reasons is cHaMbEr cannot stop people flanking. And in this game, 11 out of 22 rounds, someone flanked. Now, they didn't always get a kill with it. Sometimes they whiffed. Sometimes, you know, or everyone was already dead. But 11 of 22 times, someone flanked and the attacking side had no clue. And so that is obviously a pretty big problem. And that, I think, is one of the reasons why attacking teams seem to be struggling on Breeze right now, is because they can't stop anyone flanking. So let's take a look at some of these rounds, and we'll start with this one, round number 1 here for EG versus Faze. So Faze, they're on the attacking side this time, and EG are on the defensive side. And Faze are going to start off, so this is the first pistol round. They're going to start off with a bit of a mid play, right? They're going to get this wall up here. They're going to send a flash through the wall there. You've got the recon dot here as well. You got these two players pushing up towards elbow, and in goes Baby Bay through the wall, and he's going to manage, well, they catch the timing on the flash a bit off, but because they've caused so much pressure over here, this Jet was actually looking towards Baby Bay, and these two players have found a kill there. Whilst that's going on, Boostio just TPs there away from the chamber as he sees all the pressure in here, but we have this KO on the flank as well, and he's going to find one straight away onto this chamber, and I'm not counting that even as the main flank in this round, as you'll see. But we also have Baby Bay here. He's going to manage to find this Sova. So we end up in a 4v3 for the side of Faze, and they're going to group up and come back towards A. But here's our flank, right? We've got our man Apoth. He's on the flank here on the Viper. The Sova is droning in, you know, completely oblivious, nothing there. I know the cHaMbEr is dead, so you might say, oh, the cHaMbEr's dead. But this trap, you know, I mean, you can see the circle around this trap, wouldn't have caught Apoth either way, even if the cHaMbEr was alive. Honestly, it might have helped Apoth if the cHaMbEr was alive, because the Sova might have felt even safer. But, well, the Sova just has no idea anyway, and dies there trying to grab the orb. So we end up in a 3v3 instead. And now Faze are being pressured from both sides. We trade some bullets there, and we actually get a 1-for-1. Boostio manages to find Baby Bay pushing up here, whilst Superman is able to find a kill there. And then they find Superman as well. We end up in a 2v1. We're going to get a really nice flash from the KO coming up here, and Reform swings, and they get the first win. And now let's come to round number 7, and what we're going to get here is a quick B play from the side of Faze. And actually, looking at this point, you know, it looked like they were going to play a bit of retake on this B site, so it looked like they guessed right? They get the KO knife in, they get the Viper wall in, the Neon wall goes up, and then they start to go. The problem is, though, we just get Jugmo just hitting a random shot, spamming into the Neon wall. He manages to get the first kill, and then the Sova comes out from Calm, and Poised unfortunately gets revealed, and also dies there. So they end up in a 5v3. The spike gets lost onto the site, so it's already a pretty dire situation. Don't worry, I realize that is the case. This round they probably weren't going to win anyway, but well, the flank is just going to make sure that there was no way that EG were going to come back, because Calm eventually is going to come all the way round down the back, and we'll see that as Dicey tries to, you know, make a quick little play here with the cHaMbEr. He's going to unfortunately get flashed and have to TP back away. But you can see, again, just absolutely not really any idea that this is happening to them at all, right? The comm is all the way right behind them, and so he's going to find a nice easy kill here, and then they are going to just mop up. But I do just want to quickly touch on, because I'm sure some of you are wondering about this chamber trap location, right? That if you're going for this full, like, quick B play, this seems like quite an odd place to put this chamber trap, right? Because, I mean, if you look at this chamber trap, it doesn't really stop any flank. To be honest, in potential, like, you know, someone could come around here and avoid it there. They could come around here and come up here instead. Obviously, anyone can come from short and come there instead. Anyone could come from elbow and come down here. Like, any of the flanks for, like, a full push to B, which is what obviously this round was, as we saw, this chamber trap doesn't potentially stop any of these flanks either. But I can understand that they're just, and this is what I'll talk about at the end of the video as well, there really isn't that many, if you're going towards B, there really isn't that many great spots for this chamber trap. I mean, the best one might be somewhere in here somewhere, as I'll talk about a bit later, but you know, it really is quite difficult to find a good position, because obviously if a Jet or a Viper comes on the flank instead, they can just smoke it off, and again, you'll have no idea. And now let's come to round number 15, and round 15 is Faze's bonus round. So they don't have the guns against EG, who do have the guns in this round, and so particularly on a map like Breeze, right, you'd expect that these Vandals would be doing a bit better in these kind of rounds. The problem is, though, how you lose bonus rounds, I feel like, is when just chaos gets added into the situation where you don't really know where people are, you know, when you just feel very uncertain about things. That is how you lose these kind of rounds where you should be favored, and that is exactly what happens to EG here, as we will see, because what's going to happen is we are going to get a flank from the side of Faze. They're going to push out with this Neon and the Sova. You see we get the Sova dart in there. We have early KO knife to clear this out so that they know that they can push down there. EG are actually leaning towards A instead, but you see we actually have the chamber watching for this exact kind of thing, right? Boostio is right here ready for that, and so he gets the kill and he TPs away and all is well. But Baby Bay has kept walking, and as you can see, the chamber trap is over here towards A, because it does look like they wanted to go A in this round overall. And this chamber, you can see, I mean, obviously in the time that he's TP'd and whatnot, he doesn't quite know if anyone's got past, but he's probably pretty sure, hey, you know, it's unlikely that they passed. But as we can see, Baby Bay is in a nightmare scenario. He sees the Sova there. Then he sees this chamber, and even with a Spectre at long range, he's able to get that kill. He puts up the wall, and so whilst these players were ready to go to A, now of course they have to come back, and now that the chamber's dead as well, and this trap doesn't do anything, they have to be really worried that Baby Bay could be anywhere in here. Like, he could go back, he could, I mean, he could come and sit in the spawn if he wanted to. You know, he can do a lot of different things. He actually does decide to go back, does Baby Bay, but it creates a lot of uncertainty, and I think that this is the kind of thing that, you know, can ruin rounds. These kind of rounds where you should be favored, look at how, like, cautious they are. They really don't know where he is. They're very scared about where Baby Bay could have gone. So they actually start to walk up back towards mid, but again, they just have no information of what's going on at all. And so they're just going to walk straight into this Viper. They actually managed to find a pretty good timing in this Viper and catch the Viper pretty unaware, and managed to get the kill. But Baby Bay goes for a very nice stun there, does a nice slide, and manages to get 2 kills. And so now all of a sudden we're in a 3v2. The Spike's down in mid, and again they have, you know, no idea where anyone else could be. The Viper is actually going to manage to find a timing there, just walking up. But now obviously ThE knows where this last player is. The time is running extremely low as well. The Jet has gone to pick up the Spike back, so ThE is going to get a free kill here. They obviously know that this Jet has to now plant, so Baby Bay is completely free to come in and run up to this Jet, because he knows that they have to plant, because if they don't, the chamber's on the other side of the map. They win the round anyway. Really nicely played by Faze overall, but you can just see, like, the chaos, and I think again you're starting to see on Breeze in particular, like the way that this map is, having one trap will not get you nearly enough control to be able to, you know, control every possibility, and we see it there, and this is how you lose a bonus round. And finally, let's come to round number 19, and what we'll see here from EG is actually a bit of reaction to what was going on in the game. This is actually a save for them, so they're not even going to put down a chamber trap in this instance. But the thing is, I think you might say like, oh, they didn't even put a trap down. So can you call this one even a flank if they didn't put a trap down? But I think it's just about the psychological play that was going on. The Faze knew even if they did put a trap down or not, they could flank either way, so it didn't matter, right? Whereas against maybe a Cypher or something, they would think twice about doing it, even on saves. But it didn't matter, right? Whether it was a 4-buy round or not, it didn't matter. So it kind of makes sense, I think, from EG. But essentially what they do is they just decide, particularly on this B side where they know Baby Bay was playing quite often, it's just watch for any pushes from this kind of side, right? Watch if he pushes down mid, watch if they push down B main, right? They've just got the cHaMbEr and the Jett, just waiting there to see if that is the case, because it just happens so often in this game for both teams that they were just, as I said, like in half of the round, someone was flanking and getting behind, and there was many more attempts than that to get behind as well. It was quite an absurd game, to be honest, in a way. But anyway, they do manage to find a kill, and they kind of bait Faze a bit with this kind of pressure towards B. The cHaMbEr TP's out, walks back to mid and finds a kill on the Sova here. We do get a trade here from the op on the A site, as they thought, maybe, hey, we can just walk up on this A site, and there were actually 4 people from Faze towards B. But we end up in this 4v4, bit of a chaotic round in this cHaMbEr, can't TP anymore with the suppression. He clearly knows that, pressure is coming in from multiple sides. So it is a risky game that he's playing here. And eventually he does manage to just about TP out and gets a bit lucky. He gets a bit of a haircut there from the Jett as well. But as EG start to come, as Faze start to come back in onto the site, they are going to manage to find these kills as the spike is going down. Obviously, EG not having the guns, they kind of want to push, so we get a kill on the Jett there with a really nice KO nade, and then the KO is able to mop up another. But we just have Baby Bay again. Just look at this, just completely unaware is calm, and obviously we've seen at this point that this happened quite often, and there was just another example of it. And so he just makes sure that 4v2 they were probably going to win this round, but he took any danger really out of it, and poised with some nice flashes manages to get that last kill. But now let's come to Valorant and just explain this cHaMbEr nerf and why, particularly I think for Breeze, also some other maps, but particular Breeze, why it is just such a problem that you can't stop these flanks, right? Because there's just so many lanes and avenues on this map to potentially go flanking, right? You can come down to the window potentially as well. Some agents, a Jett or something can maybe updraft in there. You can come across here, of course, and then there's multiple lanes to check here, and you come across here, there's multiple lanes there. You can come down short, you can come down the other side of mid. You have this, you have 2 sides to A as well. You obviously can come down the hallway as well. Like, there's just so many different flanking potentials that where do you put this trap? Right, on A, the best one is probably in here. To be honest, like that stops most of them, I guess. But obviously, as we even saw, this exact thing happen where there was, a trap in this kind of area, but someone just walks down halls. Like, if you're not going to have someone halls, then you can't really even put it there. But again, you can't put it closer towards A either, because, then they could just go the other side of cave as well. So it just isn't really helping. It just isn't helping. And then for B, it's even worse, because there really is nowhere to put this one trip and know that the flank is secure. There's literally not one spot that you can put it. Maybe you'd say the best is something like this, maybe, or somewhere in here maybe would be like your best bet. But even then, there's going to be, certain routes that, there's going to be somewhere that isn't covered by one cHaMbEr trap. And that is obviously a big problem if you are just going to go for a full execute heavy style, which is kind of what both teams did, to be honest, in that game. Both went for a pretty execute heavy style where it was just like, let's go A, let's go B. And they got punished for it on the flank, very, very heavily indeed, whether the cHaMbEr was alive or not. And so, look, with 2 traps, it is much easier, right? With 2 traps, you can put a trip in here, you can put a trip in there, and you can feel pretty secure in going B, right? Going A, you can put a trip in there, you can put a trip in there, and you can feel pretty secure about going A. This is kind of the difference, right? That back in the day, with old cHaMbEr, you could feel pretty secure in your flanks. Now, there definitely is a big trade-off on certain maps, especially Breeze, and I think that obviously cHaMbEr being so good on the defensive side anyway, combined with the fact that he's, unreliable at securing flanks on the attack side, I think that is one of the big reasons why quite a few teams are struggling to attack on Breeze right now.